avoid this place. I think it's sad. But I don't. I come here because it inspires me. What inspires me? Well, it's kind of a long story. Would you like to hear it? In Life and Death by Megan Carpenter. Well, the story begins 20 years back when President Cunningham seized power. The free world died that day. And out of that first move of a leader addicted to power came a new America, an America of suppression and fear. My father was a high-ranking government official, and he tried to stop it, but Cunningham wouldn't be influenced. I've heard that when he found there was nothing left to be done, my father issued a challenge. You, Cunningham, you underestimate the people. If you go forward with this, know that I will do everything in my power to stop you, to expose you, to bring you down. Understandably, Cunningham isn't my dad's biggest fan. But my dad did make good on his word. He started the underground organization called the Rebels Ring. But this story isn't really Daddy's, or Cunningham's, or even mine. It's Tracy Merrick's. And it happened 13 years ago, 7 years after the takeover. Tracy was done with it. People were starting to get suspicious, and it was time to clear out of town, spirited away by the Rebels Ring, and take his new role as head of Ring Intelligence. He would take nothing with him, save his usual briefcase and travel bag. But this time, in addition to the usual papers, laptop, and change of clothes, he would take with him papers as much a threat to the government as they were an asset to the Rebels' Ring. Tracy was a quiet man, brilliant, not more than 35 years of age. His face was open and pleasant, but his eyes said he was not one to be easily duped. He had the assurance that only comes from a good mind and a clean life, not easily daunted or discouraged, even in the face of stiff opposition. And he did face stiff opposition, the stiffest perhaps in the world, because if you happen to get on the wrong side of the new militaristic socialist American government, you would be given a run for your money. Most lost all they gamble in that intense game of cat and mouse, but Tracy was determined to win. And he wasn't alone in that great game, playing for all the ideals that matter. As I said, he had ties to the Ring, and the Ring was a foe with a fighting chance, even with only a fraction of the government's resources. You see, though both organizations were filled with passionate people, the Ring was filled with members with an unconquerable spirit. Men like that will attempt the impossible, and sometimes succeed. Anyway, back to Merrick's flight. It was 7 a.m., and everyone at the metro station was on their way into Washington, D.C., except for Tracy Merrick. For a moment, the thought cut him. He was leaving his childhood dream job, an excellent salary, a nice apartment, friends, almost everything he called his own. For a moment, he paused mid-stride. What am I doing? But determination quickly took the place of his doubt. He was taking his honor with him. And that dream job had quickly turned into a nightmare, giving him information that had made him detest his employer, the federal government. That excellent salary was the wages paid him to write and speak propaganda. The nice apartment came from those tainted wages. And the friends, well, they knew of his involvement in the Ring. They would turn on him. And Tracy was done with it. There was no going back. He boarded the metro to the Crystal City stop, where he would pick up the car waiting for him in the Holiday Inn parking garage. It all seemed so simple. What could go wrong? Well, he was about to find out, 50 miles down the road. Dun, dun, dun. Merrick here.
Merrick, this is Taylor. Where are you? This is no day to be out of the office. We have some very important things to discuss this afternoon.
I'm sorry, Taylor, I won't be able to make it today.
Well, tomorrow morning then. Early. Got it?
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. We'll have to have that meeting without me. In a communications office back in Washington, D.C., Taylor, Merrick's boss, laid the phone back in the cradle, a satisfied look on his shrewd face. A moment later, he picked it up again.
Ted, was that call long enough to get the tracker activated on Merrick's phone? Good. We'll have the Ring in our hands by the end of the week.
A few hours later, Merrick pulled the car into the abandoned barn the Ring had specified. took a moment for his eyes to adjust to the dim interior of the barn. This stop on this modern underground railroad is perfectly unassuming.
From behind him he heard, "Tracy Merrick, you're being tracked." Mr. Overalls, who declined to give his name, might speak with a hick accent, but he was no fool. He shortly became responsible for the government losing its trace on Merrick. "That would be it. That phone has to go." "Destroy it?" No. Let me take it. If Mr. Bigwig calls in and finds the phone don't even ring, he and the rest of his cronies immediately know something fishy's cooking, and they won't like the smell. By 3 a.m., Merrick was exhausted, driving cross-country in a beat-up, almost rusted-out 1988 pickup truck. Well, riding was more like it. Riding in the hidden compartment under the bed of the truck was closer. Freezing was about accurate. You wondered why there couldn't be some kind of cushioning in there. Didn't they know what it was like to ride in a car with little suspension left and no cushioning? At least he was on his way to freedom. Only a few hours more. And then he was there, at my house. But someone, we never found out who, tipped off the government, and they were there too, within a couple of hours. 5-year-old little me was playing in the front yard. I saw them go up to the front door. Can I help you?
Mark Earhart, we believe you're sheltering a fugitive from the government. If you want it to go well with you, I would recommend handing him over now.
Fugitive? There must be some mistake.
You, grab the girl.
Hey! What don't you dare touch my daughter?
Nothing will happen to your daughter if you hand over Tracy Merrick.
I had never seen such an agonized look on my dad's face. He couldn't hand over Tracy, and he couldn't let them hurt me. And he knew they would if he didn't cooperate.
I can't let you have either one, but... Wait! I can't give you Tracy Merrick. But take me instead. You may find I'm worth more to you than he is.
My dad didn't know Tracy had come up behind him until I felt a hand on his shoulder. Tracy broke the tense silence following my dad's declaration. "No, Mark. They can't take you without a warrant anyway, even in this mockery of justice. I'll go." "Tracy, they'll kill you." "I know. But there are worse things. And there are things more important than I am. Like your little girl." "I love you, brother." He gave himself up. In the end, Daddy and I did get away, and Tracy did lose his life. But that's the funny thing. Somehow, in a game of this sort, when we're playing for God's ideals, losses now don't add up to losses in the long run. Somehow, when we play for freedom and hope and for others' sakes, the gains belong to those who lost or gave the most, all piling up on one side, and the losses belong to those who took the most. You see, we serve the just judge of the universe. In the end, we'll win, no matter how much we lose now. And that's why I'm here, in this graveyard. This is Tracy's gravestone. I'm here to remind myself that there are still heroes in the world, unknown and unsung. The hero's still the same. And to remind myself that there are still things worth fighting for. Tracy was a hero. He gave up almost everything material to escape the evil in the government. A few days later, he gave up everything else, except his ideas. They live on